Hello guys and welcome. This is going to be my first video commentating the whole raid of Icecrown Citadel. So let's start. This is first boss. As a feral druid, you want to do some kind of form change so you can get your so you can charge, always start with taunt, then just pop berserk and spam mango until mango is on cooldown. After that you want to do your demoralizing shout and then just keep 5 stack on lacerate, and between cooldowns you can always spam your swipe. Like here the most important thing is the whole raid to be stuck, so as soon as the spikes comes the melees can cleave it down instantly. The only classes that can be like not right behind the boss stack are the classes with rage spells. For example, this is gonna be hunter. Like hunters have to be on their minimum melee rage so they can still attack with their spells. Here just tank and spunk, then he will start to do bone storm. Once he starts to do bone storm, usually he will go to the person that is higher on the threat meter. That's probably it's gonna be a hunter. Usually here is a good time for you to cast your innervate to some of the heroes and just keep doing your rotation, stay away from the flames and help the raid with killing the spikes if you want. And that's the biggest priority here. Just keep your stacks up on the boss, demoralizing roar once a raid, and do your normal DPS rotation. Once the burn storm is over, you're gonna take your position in front of the boss. The whole raid is gonna stay behind of the boss, and off tank is gonna stay close to you so he don't get cleaved, and that way you're gonna take lesser damage. So again, tank and spike, the raid is just moving from the flames, killing the spikes, and basically that's it until the boss is. So this is how the first boss goes. For the second boss, there are a few things that you need to watch about. Like, first thing is dots that are incoming. Just speak with your other tank and take the dots from one side. The other tank is gonna take dots from the other side, bring it to the middle or close to the boss so the raid can cleave it down. After that, there is gonna be mind control, so you just go a bit far from the boss if you get mind control, so you're not gonna get cleaved by the melees and die. Here druids can do cyclone on the melees, and rages can fear ship or any other kind of CC on the ranges. Like if somebody is dead here, you're feral druid tank, so you can raise him because probably you're not gonna have time to raise anybody once we enter in the second phase. Then again we're gonna have second wave of paths. Just keep moving with the odds to the middle, like the raid is gonna kill that, and then you're gonna push the boss to the next phase. Here what you want to do is to build as much aggro on the boss as you can, because the longer the fight goes, the lower threat you're gonna do on the boss. So you want to move him through the middle and then just pop your berserk and spam it so you can build as much aggro as you can. It's very important the whole raid to be spread around and kite the spirits, and also the melees to interrupt the frostball's cast from Lady That Whisper. Usually you can make your raid like every warrior to interrupt the first one and every decay to interrupt the second one. Like, it doesn't really matter, it's just important to be interrupted. Here just stay in the middle. You want to move when there are some mind control people around the middle of the raid, or you see this green dead in decay around the middle also. So once everyone is not on mind control, you move the boss around the middle. Ranges and melees needs to kite these spirits that are chasing them. The off tank will bring the trash probably around the boss, or he will just tank them away from the raid and everybody can focus DPS in the boss. Basically that's how this fight goes. It's very important to spread and kite the spirits, because this is the only thing that can wipe the raid. The rest is just a cake job. So stay spread around the room as a healer and rage to your CC on the melees especially, and just keep doing your tricks and MDs, and the boss will die pretty much like this. Next fight is pretty easy, it's gunship. All you need to do is to have your rocket pack equipped so you can jump to the other ship. If you're the one tank that is jumping to the other ship tanking the boss there, you need a rocket pack. If you're the tank that is tanking the trash on our ship, you cannot get the rocket pack, but usually get the rocket pack because things can go wrong and maybe the other tank need to jump. Like once you see the mage is coming, you want to jump to the other ship and take this high overlord boss to you, so the rest of the raid that are jumping, they can kill freely the mage, and after the mage is dead, the raid is gonna go back to the ship and you can go back to the ship as well. Why we are killing the mage? Because when the mage is alive, it's freezing these 4 cannons that are shooting to the other ship, because the fastest the cannons are shooting and hitting the other ship, the fastest this fight will end. Usually the people in the cannons have some range DPSers like warlocks, mages, hunters, whatever, but it doesn't really matter, like any class can go and just DPS. I think the best way still is just to spam one to where when you are in the ship, or when you see the second mage is coming, you are jumping again, do your demoralizing roar on the boss, and here you can pop some cooldowns if you want as well, like 1 minute cooldowns is more than enough, because he's building stacks on you, and with every stack he's doing more physical damage to you and more. And after the raid is back to the ship, you're jumping back as well. You can go and just do demoralizing shot on the trash on our ship, so that way the melees that are DPSing a half aggro on that can take lower damage, because usually the off tank is paladin. Some paladins can spec into that, but you can just go and do demoralizing shot. Nothing is like that much of a thing there. Again, next mage is coming, you are jumping again, taking high overload to you, keeping him there and stay close to the enemy ship, so the healers from our ship can heal you easily, so you're not gonna be out of their range. After the raid is back to our ship, you're jumping again back. Here and there, when you're jumping between mages and stuff, if you see that some healer needs some innervate, you can throw your innervate. Like, it's always good to help the healers with innervate and stuff and support them as much as you can, because pretty much you're a tank and your job is like to tank things and help the rest of the raid things easier. And once you do that several times, the fight will end, you wanna kill the enemy ship, and this is it. The next fight is Deathbringer, the so-called DPS test. So you just taunt the boss, pop berserk, and then rage spam mango, so you can build as much aggro on the boss as you can. If you are the main tank, here it's a good idea to just talk with the other tank and just tell him you're gonna stun one of that's on the right side and he's gonna stun one of that's on the left side. As soon as you get this rune of blood mark, the other tank will tank the boss and you have time to DPS that, stun them, do your demoralizing shout, so that's gonna do lesser damage. Here the tank that it's not gonna taunt the boss for the blood rune can also taunt one of that are going far away from the raid. Like, the only thing here that you need to look about is to kill the trash fast, and healers need to heal the person with the marks. Usually you're gonna have 2 hunters, one is putting one trap on the left side, the other one is putting another frost trap on the right side, so that way the odds that when they're spawning, they're gonna be slowed. Also, when they're coming close to the raid, like one of the boomies can do typhoon, so they will get pushed back to the middle of the room, like away from the raid, and that's how the fight goes. Just every range DPS here is very important to do damage on the odds and kill them as fast as we can. Now, as you can see, we have our first mark is on the warrior, so healers are focusing to heal this person with the mark, so he is not going to die. because when he's gonna die, if he died, he gonna just kill the boss, and things are going to be harder for the raid. Again, I even between my taunting rotation with off tank throw some innervate on one of the healers. As I said, it's always good idea to throw innervate to some of the healers to help them with the raid. Now we have like last wave of ads, but we're gonna skip them because the boss is gonna die here, probably not gonna cast it. And yeah, that's how this fight goes. Next fight is Festergod, pretty easy fight. Want to charge the boss, keep him in the middle. Like the only thing here that the raid needs to worry about are these Maligugus that are going to come from the PP's room. So you'll see these green balls that are flying around. If they hit some of the melee ranges or healers, they're gonna put like haste debuff on them, so their melee attacks gonna be slower and their casting abilities gonna take slower to be cast. So this is the only thing that you need to worry about. And when you get these marks on you, like you want to be making your raid to go in 3 groups. Like one mark is going to the melees and the other 2 spores are going to the ranges, or you can have like 2 to the ranges, 1 to the melees. The tanks don't really need these spores on them. You want to have at least 2 stacks to survive, or you're playing some class that can migrate damage from the blight, like for example hunters, like for example mages can do ice block, shadow priest can do DP and so on. Like you can do that, or you can just stack with the rest of the raid and just build your 3 stacks or 2 stacks with these spores. Like the main tank is gonna tank the boss till 9 stacks, and then the off tank is gonna take the boss. Or if you have paladin tank, he can go 9 stacks, then Bubble resents the stacks and take the boss again. But since I don't have DPS specs, we're doing it with 2 tanks here. So you see the spores again, 1 is going to the melees and 2 are going to the range. Like soon we're gonna have this blight effect that the boss is going to do, and if you don't have at least 2 stacks with it, probably you're gonna die. Or see, this blight is now happening and the raid is taking so much damage because of it. Now I'm looking where the shaman is walking in his innervate. Another thing here is like you want to be spread around the room and like at least 10-12 yards from other raid members, so when you get vial gas you're not gonna spread it through the whole raid. And basically that's how the fight goes. Next fight is Road Fate. It's again easy fight. Like you want to keep the boss in the middle. The range DPS and the healers stay spread and don't go to the melee, so don't spread vial gas around the melees and all the rangers as well. So like from time to time the Rot Face will do this slime spray. After he casts this slime spray, you want to go in front of him as a tank, so the melees don't need to move again to reposition. He will do like debuff on 1 random raid members, and when this debuff is dispelled or it expires, it's gonna create a little ooze. You want to merge these 2 little oozes one into each other, and then it's gonna be one big ooze. This big ooze is gonna be kite around from the off tank, and then when you get again 2 little oozes merge into one big one, the off tank will gonna merge 2 big oozes into each other. And pretty much that's how the fight goes. Just stay spread for the vial gas, run away from the green slimes on the ground, and merge little oozes into little oozes, and the tank will merge big one into the big one. That's the whole fight. Like, there is nothing hard in this fight unless you're merging little oozes into the big ones. Like, if you're doing that, there is gonna be explosion from the big ooze. If that happens, just take a note where the big ooze is that is going to explode, and just run on the opposite direction. Wait for explosions to be over, and then return and DPS the boss again. This is how the fight goes. Like, main tank is just always staying in front of Rotface after he repositioned himself when he casting slime spray. You're going in front of him again, so that way the melees will have to move lesser to reposition again behind the boss. And yeah, that's it with this fight. Just tanks and spunk, and yeah, nothing hard about it. Next fight that we have here is Professor. One of the tank will tank the boss, and the other tank will go and click on the table, so he will transform himself into Abomination. Once he is Abomination, you want one of the Paladins to do Kings on him, and Might and Druids to their buff on him as well. Here the main tank is gonna keep the boss close to the green puddles, so when the Abomination is drinking the green puddles, he can also DPS the boss. One good thing to do here is just wait to 80% and then push the next phase, so that way you're gonna have just one green, not two greens. And then when you have this green and red oozes, what you want to do is the persons that have target by the red ooze gonna kite the red ooze, and the person that is targeted with the green ooze, the rate will gonna stack on him so they can share the damage. It's very important to check your debuff, like what kind of ooze you can DPS. If it's a green debuff, you can DPS the green ooze. If it's a red debuff, you're gonna have to DPS the red ooze. Once this is over, he's gonna spawn these choking gas bombs. You want to move him away from them. All the melee DPSers that are DPSing are not gonna get debuff from these bombs and get a reduced hit chance, so they're not gonna hit the boss. Now you're just killing the green oozes, stacking with it, and keep the boss close to the green puddles so the person in Abomination can DPS as well. Like, I'm moving the boss now, so the Abomination can DPS and the whole raid can DPS also. Now we're gonna have a red ooze coming, so here again I'm staying close to the green puddles. The whole raid are switching targets to the this gas cloud red ooze, and they're gonna kill it down. And once the ooze is dead, they're gonna come back and do damage on the boss. So basically you just stay away from the melee googles that are coming, and you will have a plague on you. Maybe if you have this unbound plague, you want to keep it for a few seconds and then go to some closer party member or raid member and just pass this plague on him, because if you keep it for a longer time, you're gonna die. Here another green ooze is coming, like the person is close to the table, like usually ranges are going there, so when they're targeted, we're gonna have a lot of time to kill the green oozes, so the rate is not gonna get pushed. One thing that warlocks can do here is when you see that the oozes are coming, they can do their debuff on them, so they can cast lower the targeting thing and you have more time to DPS them. Then another transition phase, in first transition phase, when you have two oozes at the same time, red and green, you can make one of your DKs to do Army of the Dead, and the other DK is gonna save his Army of the Dead for the second transition phase. That way, the more targets there are around the green oozes, they're gonna share the damage. And now it's the last phase. Here the rate is gonna bootless, you're just gonna move a boss a bit. so the raid not get hit by these choking gas bombs. The main tank that is tanking the boss, so he's gonna tank him until he get like 4 stacks. With this debuff on him, it's called mutated plague. Like once he get 4 stacks, the off tank is gonna take the boss, and the rest of the raid just gonna keep DPSing the boss until he's dead. And yeah, this is how this fight goes. It's not hard, at least with 30%. Let's go into the next fight. Here we have 3 bosses. One is active one of the time, so the raid can DPS him, and the other 2 bosses are inactive, so if the raid is DPSing them, they're not gonna take any damage. Here one important thing is like first boss is gonna do this shock vortex. On this shock vortex you want your raid to spread around the room. Melee is not going around the middle where the healers are. It's a good thing that if you mark your 2 healers that are casters, for example your Holy Pally and your Shaman, and you want to do hop on them, and just for example Holy Pally is gonna hop the Shaman and he's gonna bubble disact the first vortex. The tank that is tanking Kelexite want to keep aggro on this Dark Nucleus, because as many Dark Nucleus he have on him, the lesser spell damage he's gonna take. We have what we have here. We have a thing that is dropping off the ground, and these things are called kinetics. Like depend how your raid is doing it. Some raids are doing it, they are just telling both of the hunters to do the job with kinetics. You need to hit kinetics before hit the ground, because if the kinetics hit the ground they're gonna explode, they're gonna push the whole raid back. So either you can send you can tell both of your hunters to do damage and keep the job for kinetics, or you can make an order. For example, first hunter is gonna send his pet to the first kinetic, second hunter is gonna send his pet to the second kinetic, Demo Warlock is gonna send his pet to the third kinetic, Holy Decay is gonna send his pet to the fourth kinetic, and so on. And that way the hunters is gonna be able to DPS freely the boss. Once the boss switch to Keleset, you don't want to cleave, so the tank that is tanking the boss can keep his buffs with Nucleus, and pretty much that's how the fight goes. The next fight is Bot Queen, another pretty easy fight. If you don't assign specific class to take the bite, like just the whole raid is gonna DPS, and after one of the raid members get the bite, you want to move the boss close to the stairs. The raid will gonna stay spread around the room. Milice is gonna stay in 2 groups behind Bot Queen. One milice is gonna stay on the left side. One groups of the milice is gonna stay on the left side of the boss, and the other groups gonna stay on the right side of the boss. The only things here that you need to look up is like you're gonna have link, and this link is gonna be with 3 persons. When you have this link, you want to go close to each other, like the people with the link, so the link is gonna be cancelled and you're not gonna take any damage anymore. And the other thing that you're gonna have is these shadow flames. You want to put these shadow flames like close to the walls. Like for example, this priest got the flames on the left side and he's going close to the walls and just putting the flames there. It's a bad idea to use like any kind of speed movement increase, like potion or dash, whatever, because you're gonna spread the flames in bigger range because they have thick rate. And that's how the fight goes. The person that gets the first bite, after 1 minute he can buy another person to do more damage, so he will bite another person, and after that the both persons that have the bites is gonna bite 2 more persons, and this way the bite will spread around and they gonna have more damage to kill the bot queen faster. One thing to notice here is like before the air phase, you want your warriors to do thunder armor, to renew their thunder armor on the boss, so when she lands down, we still gonna have the thunder armor. Before fear and air phase, you want your raid to go into the middle, so that way the players that have fear ward when they save, they're gonna spam mass dispel in the middle of the room and they're gonna dispel the raid. After that, just spread around the room, wait a bit until the bot queen is casting his thing. Here is a good idea to use your defensive cooldowns. Once bot queen is down, probably the raid is gonna bootless and it's gonna finish the boss. So pretty much that's it. If you get link, you link up with the person that you get linked. If you get this shadow rebuff that you're gonna put these flames on the ground, you go close to the wall and put the flames there, stay spread, and that's it. Pass the bite, don't be a man and don't pass the bite and get like my control it. Pretty much that's how the whole fight goes. It's pretty easy fight at this point. I'm not sure, but I think that the link damage from the person that get the link, it's not correct. It's way lower than it has to be, but I might be wrong, so I don't know about that. And yeah, you keep doing these things, spreading the bite, stack for the link and putting the flames on the ground. And after you do that a couple of times, the boss will die and you see the loot. Okay, next fight is Valitria Dreamwalker. Here you're gonna have several healers that are going into the portals and they need to heal the boss, like basically that's the whole fight. Usually guilds are doing it with just one tank. Priority on killing trash is Abomination is last. Then you're gonna have like Blazing. You want to kill the Blazing as fast, and mages, you want to interrupt the mages and kill them. And with the highest priority here are suppressors, especially when the healers are out and they're they're hitting the boss. So when they're hitting Valitria, they're gonna do the buff on Valitria, and the healers that are trying to heal the boss are going to heal the boss slower, because each suppressor that have his debuff on the boss is making the boss to receive lesser healing. Here it's a good idea just to mark one of the healers and just go as a group inside. As a resto druid, like your highest healing ability here for this boss is Life Bomb, so just keep 3 stacks on Valitria, wait the stacks to go off and then build it again, and other than that just keep your hots up, spam Nourish, and basically that's it. You have to enter several times into the portals to get like around 10, 13, 14 stacks, depending what you can manage there, and just spam killing the boss. As I said, if you see Blazing Skeleton, try to stun interrupt his thing, because he's gonna do AoE damage to the raid. If you see Archmage, again, try to interrupt his cast, because when he's casting, he's gonna slow the raid members. One thing to notice here as a healer inside, just try to not lose your stacks, because every time you take one of these red balls, you getting 1 stack, and the time on the stacks is started from 40 seconds, so you need to look up for this and not lose your stack, because if you lose your stacks, it's gonna be harder for the raid to heal the boss. As you see, suppressor was up, the raid was killing them as soon as they see one of the Abomination is is in C in the left side. And the other thing that you want to do is this blazing these zombies that are exploding, to not kill them close to Valitria, because if you kill them close to Valitria and when they explode, they're gonna do AoE damage to Valitria, and the healers will have to heal more. Like, I know it's not a big thing, but still, like, why you want to make the raid go slower. We have another entering phase into the portals, and we have like 30 stacks. I believe we're gonna heal it now, or maybe we're gonna wait. Yeah, we're gonna wait for one more time that we're gonna enter into these nightmare portals. As you see, suppressors, Raze is trying to kill them. The tank is just cutting the abominations. The Raid is killing archmages and suppressors. Yeah, this is gonna be the last portal. Like as I said, when you're entering to the portals, make sure you're doing your hots on the healers inside so they don't die from the ticks that you get when you are accumulating these buffs from these blue balls, whatever they call. And once you enter, you're just gonna PO and heal Volitrier to full HP. And once you do that, the fight will be over, and you can see your loot. Pretty easy fight. Like nothing to worry about. Just don't lose your stacks and kill the trash outside with priority, and that's it. Next fight is Sindragosa. There are several ways to do Sindragosa, but most guilds are doing it like this, so I'm gonna explain this way. Like usually you want to have like one tank and 5 healers. It's better if you have 2 holy paladins, but since we don't have another paladin that can be holy, I'm resto druid, so we are doing it with 2 resto druids. So there is gonna be unchained. Like the people with unchained, if you're a healer, usually you go like right side on the boss with your unchained stacks, and if you are caster DPS, you go to the left side of the boss with your unchained stacks. Don't build more than 4 to 5 stacks, and when you are about to explode, make sure you're not exploding close to another party members. Like once the blistering is happening, before that your warlock can do his debuff on the boss, so he's gonna start cast slower blistering code. Once the blistering pulls you inside, the whole of the raid will just have more time to run away. This is going to be first air phase now, and yes, Sindragosa is flying up. Here as a resto druid, you want to make sure you do hot on every person that have a tomb on him, and you want to have a paladin assigned to do his aura mastery on frost before the frost tombs lands. Also red paladins can do their sacred shields on the person in the tombs to reduce the damage. Usually the people with the tombs go first. 2 names are going to the left side, 3rd and 4th name is in the middle, and 5th and 6th person on the DBM are going right side. So the raid are just killing the tombs, and there we go. We're gonna have again the same phase. Like we're gonna have to heal hard, take care with unchained magic. Melees also want to don't go over 9 stack with their melee debuff that they're getting. So it's pretty much just TPSing the boss as much as you can. Don't explode in the raid with unchained magic. Go closer to the boss before blistering, that way you will travel lower and you have better time to run away from it. And that's it. Once the blistering is over, you just again spread around with your unchained magic if you have. Try to not explode closer to other raid members, heal and DPS. Here you want to push as close as you can, around 35% of the boss, because this is where the next phase is happening, and you want the boss to fly second time, so that way you have all the raid cooldowns for the last phase. Again, another bombs, like first 2 names, Pure Bawa and Tana are going left side, Priest and Warlock are going middle, and Warrior and Quick Hunter are going to the right side. Again, one of the Reds did his Aura Mastery right before the tombs land. Now you are just hiding from the bombs and keep DPSing the tombs a bit until they are like 20-30%, and then just stop. And after the last bomb is dropped, we just gonna nuke them down. and then we're gonna bloodlust and kill the boss here. Because you are doing this debuff from Warlock that is slowing the cast time on the blistering, it's not a good idea to keep casting and wait for blistering and just go away with your stack, because if you do that with these slowed time casts, you're gonna explode and wipe the raid. So if you build build as many stacks as you can if you are doing that, and then right before blistering just go somewhere alone and die, because this way you're not gonna explode inside the raid and just kill the raid. Here I'm resetting my stacks. As you see now it's blistering, I'm just healing up, somebody explode into the raid and kill like half of the raid, because they was not doing what I was saying like it's normal. To that, people just don't like to listen, but anyhow we managed to kill it. We just keep healing and keep DPSing, and basically that's how this fight goes. This is this is the easiest way to kill this boss, like with this pushing phase. Finally we managed to reach Lich King, so you want to start Lich King on his position and make the raid in two groups, one melee and one range group, because when he casts his shadow traps, the group that have the trap on it has to move. Like here as a main tank, one thing you want to do is like right before shambling, you want to face Lich King around the middle of the room, so the shambling is gonna spawn on a good spot, not like in Africa. First trap was on melee, so I moved the boss and the raid moved with me from the melees. Like if the next trap is on melees again, the rages are gonna be far away from the boss and they need to move as well. First necrotic was up, but the person with necrotic run to the shambling and get dispel. Usually in our guild, the person that have to dispel necrotic, this is the shaman, so the next trap is in the middle. The rest of the raid moved from there, the rest of the raid will just keep staying on one place. Here you're just doing your normal DPS rotation. Every time there is ghoul spawning wave, you want to redo your demoralizing roar. So the ghouls are going to do lesser damage to the melees. Another necrotic, another dispel, so we'll keep stacking necrotic to the horror shamblings. Soon we're gonna have another shambling, so as you can see I'm facing Lich King close to the off tank. So that way the shambling will spawn close to him and he will pick the shambling. Here if he gets both of them for a long time and one is in rage, it's a good thing to throw PS on him, as we did. And on the 70% we're gonna push the boss into the next phase in transition. So once you do that, if you're assigned to do your innervate on somebody, just do your innervate, and everyone need to spread around the room like melees and rages and just wait for the raging spirit to show up. First raging spirit is up, you want to taunt, do your tricks and MD for the person that have their job to do it for the first raging spirit, and just keep the raging spirit face off the raid, because if he's gonna do his spell inside the raid, he's gonna silence and probably he's gonna kill people. One thing here raids that needs to do is just to spam dispel the tanks, because if the tanks are silent they cannot down the raging spirits. Usually mages are sitting on the boss, Demo Warlock pet is on the boss, and the rest of the raid is just keep DPSing the raging spirits. Last raging spirit is going to be taken by the off tank, that way the main tank can take the boss. Now don't instantly charge the boss, wait for him to cast his infest and then position him around the middle, not exactly in the middle, because you want the raid to stay behind him, and after they're staying behind him, when the Valks come, they're gonna pick person, they will probably go into the same direction. Now you want to stun the Valks and just do your damage first. So Reaper is coming right after second infest onto the second phase, so you just keep Lich King closer to the boss, to the Valks, so the raid can clip them down. If you're melee, you want to stay max melee left or right side on the boss, so if you get defile on you, you can just move away from the raid and don't put the defile inside of the raid. The rest of the ranges and healers go like on the side of the raid, like second necrotic is coming. It's the same time with the second Valk's wave. We got lucky, one Warlock was picked, so I'm just keeping the Lich King with the close to the Valk so the melees can cleave. And after we push the Valk still 50%, they're gonna drop the person that is picked, like the second Valk drop the person, so I'm moving again the boss around the middle so the raid can stack. Here is probably the time when you gonna bloodlust, like you can do it after actually not here on the second wave or here, like depending how the guilds are doing it. Like usually after defile is coming Valk, so this is the time when you want to just bloodlust. When you bloodlust, you have time to kill the Valks faster because the raid is gonna do more damage. As you can see, I'm keeping again the boss between both of them. Don't be shy to ask your teammates, I mean raid members like paladins and stuff, to support you with hands of sacrifice. Your this priest to throw on you pen of suppression is not a shame. Your tank, most important thing is to not die. So just rotate your cooldowns for Soul Reaper, put the boss in a good position so the Valks can be on a good spot and be cleared, and spread around for defile. That's basically how the second phase go. Again, we have a Valk wave. After this Valk wave, I think we're gonna push the boss and we're gonna enter into the next transition phase. So I'm just sitting here close to the edge. The people spread for defile and just keep DPSing the boss. Like we're gonna push it. The next phase is at 40%, so maybe we're gonna push it before the next Valk wave if we are lucky. No, we got some people grab, so probably they're gonna die here. I'm trying to do my innervate, but unfortunately I didn't do it, so I'm gonna do it later. First Raging Spirit is up, down, do damage to keep the aggro. Rate is spreading around the room. If the healers need some mana, you can ask one of your Shadow Priests to do him. Usually here Shadow Priests are on the incoming spheres and the hunters are helping, and the rest of the raid is just doing damage on the Raging Spirits. Ideally you want to have like one hunter and one rogue to do tricks and MD on the first and third Raging Spirits, and one rogue and another hunter to do tricks and MD on the second and fourth Raging Spirits. So again, the off tank is gonna pick up the last two Raging Spirits on him, so you need to be very careful, especially with the last Raging Spirits that is coming, to not aggro him, and you want to kill the one that is on low HP as fast as you can. Here as a tank you can pop some 1 minute cooldowns like right before you enter, because this way you can use it when you go out of the Frostmourne chamber. Like Frostmourne chamber is pretty easy. You just go around the room and follow one of the person that is marked. The main thing here is to avoid these bombs dropping on your head and to kill these wicked spirits, because if somebody die here in the Frostmourne chamber, the Lich King is gonna enrage and you're gonna have hard time killing him. You need to kite him and stuff like this. So here, if you can and if you want, you can help the raid with healing, or if you're range DPS, like any range DPS can help with killing these wicked spirits. Once you go outside, you want to pop some WoW cooldowns as a main tank and just kite a bit the Soul Reaper that you're gonna get. And after that, after the Soul Reaper is cast on you, he's gonna cast Vow Spirits. After the Vow Spirit cast is over, you want to move Lich King on the other side of the room, so that way the whole raid can go behind Lich King and hide from the upcoming Vow Spirits, and off tank will just soak the Vow Spirits. The raid is gonna be like behind Lich King or around him, and just spread a bit for defile, and after defile is over, they gonna go behind. And now the Vile Spirits are coming. Main tank is helping soaking the Vile Spirits here. Even PS can help soaking, but if everything is fine, you don't want your PS to help with soaking Shadow Priest, because they better do damage on Lich King. Like, you're waiting for him to cast second wave of Vile Spirits and then you just start moving him slowly. That way your melees are not gonna lose DPS. Again, you're entering into the next Frostmourne Chamber. Here the same thing, like here they speak to each other where to use the trinket for more EV healing. If you have Innervate, Mana Him, like, you can do that to help healers to gain some mana. Again, you're staying close to the wall, moving slowly, avoiding these bombs that are dropping, and every range is trying to kill the Vile Spirits that are coming close to the raids. As you can see, Hunter, Priest, Warlock, like whatever range class mages, they all can help killing these things. Even Balanced Druid can pop their big cooldown here and help clear them out. Like, once we go outside, again you want to pop some cooldown for the incoming Soul Reaper. The rate is spreading for Defile, and then the Vile Spirits are coming. The rate is behind the Lich King. Main tank and off tank are soaking Vile Spirits. After that he casts the next wave of Vile Spirits. You're gonna move him again to the next you want to move him again away from the Vile Spirits, so the off tank and the main tank can have a time to soak the spirits that are incoming. Again, Defile, main tank, off tank are soaking. And after the soak is over, he's gonna start casting again Vile Spirits, and just wait for that. Don't instantly move, because if you move instantly, the Lich King will run away to you and you're gonna lose melee DPS on the boss, so you don't want to do that. You're just moving slowly after the cast is over. And now you have third Frostmourne Chamber. Again, inside you can do your Innervates, you can do Mana Tide, you can like whatever you can do to help healers to get some mana. And if you're range DPS, you can just help with the Vile Spirit, Wicked Spirits, Wicked Spirits that are in the air, so they don't hit the raid, because if they hit the raid, some person may die, and if some person die, the boss will enrage. So basically that's it. After that, you're gonna go out, you're gonna have your first Soul Reaper cast on you, and this is gonna be with Defile, and a bit after that the spirits are going to you. So basically you just move the boss a bit, the raid is going behind Lich King, and you just soak the Vile Spirits and finish the boss. That's how Lich King fight goes. Like, it's not a hard fight, you just need to focus and you just need to position yourself good, and you need to support. If you're a paladin, do your sacrifice, do your aura mastery if you ask for, do your hands of salvation for one of the mages or whoever is with the highest aggro. If you're priest, like, do your hymn for mana, things like this. Like, every little thing help, and yeah, why you're not doing it. And basically that's how the fight